You know, I think it's been 10 years since I've had these curtains down. They're all wrinkled because they're used to being bunched up. But I have to do that because what will happen is the camera, the meter will focus on the light coming in the window, and then everything in the room will be dark. But and it's going to be dark anyways because guess what? They went and did it to us again. They killed the power. It's not like 98 degrees outside and it's windy, and so they killed the power because they're afraid that if the power lines go down, then it'll start a fire, and it's a liability for them. I get it, but you know the problem is they've got our cell phone numbers. They could just text everybody and say, hey, guess what? You 5,000 or 6,000 customers, whatever it is, we're taking the grid down in 5 minutes, just to let you know. Is that so hard? I mean, there's probably people that have medical equipment or they're working on a document important, you know, and it's, you know, if they don't have a UPS, then it goes out, and then they're I don't know. I guess I shouldn't complain, but I mean the thing is, when you've got a monopoly, you can do whatever you want and nobody can complain. So it does no good, I guess. But anyways, I wanted to show you guys today the one thing that does work when the power is out, and that is my kitchen composter. Well, now of course, if you guys watch my channel a lot, you'll know that my whole shop and my garage are completely off grid. They're on solar, but the house is not yet, but I'm working on it. So in the house here, I have my kitchen composter. Now, it usually lives over there, but over there, of course, is in the corner, and there's no light over there, and it's dark, so I figured I'd bring it over here. But so it doesn't usually stay. This is a really small part of the counter, but it has to be where it's you know there's no obstructions over it, because it basically the lid has to open up, and so if you know like this, it opens up, and so it can't hit something, and because if it does, it'll stop like midway or something, but and may eventually ruin it. But now I've had this thing for 6 months, I think, or something like that, and it works great. Now I had one before this. I had it for about 6 or 7 years. Unfortunately, my ding dong dog. I went out with it to. I was going to wash it because it's been a while. I like to, you know, every few months take it out and completely wash it. And he decided he wanted to play, so I went and I was playing with him. We went for a run, went around the loop up the driveway and whatnot, and it started raining on us big time. So we ran back to the house, and it gushed for like all day long and then part of the next day, and I completely forgot that I had left it outside. And because they're battery operated, of course, and they got electronics here, it doesn't like that. So I mean, the moisture that it gets in the kitchen and whatnot, and from the compost, is perfectly fine for it. Doesn't hurt it. But don't leave it out in the rain for a day and a half, because that will happen. So, but that one worked. It worked for years flawlessly. So, but I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to take it outside where there's more light. But I wanted to start the video in here to kind of show you, you know, of it backdrop and, you know, in the kitchen and whatnot. But this thing, it's very dirty. Oh, before we go outside, I wanted to show you. Now, there's a couple ways that you can use this. This top just comes right off, and I use these bags here, and these are biodegradable. They're made out of cornstarch, and so you could pull the pail out like this, and I guess what you could do is you could use just the pail. But the problem is that when you go and dump this in the compost, it's going to be nasty, and you'd have to wash it every time. When I pull these bags out, all I have to do is just rinse this a little bit to kind of get rid of any smell that might be in there. But it's perfectly, I mean, it's bone dry in there, and it works great. So I use these biodegradable bags. Yeah, they're made out of cornstarch. And I get like a 4-pack roll of, I don't know how many's on here, but gosh, these things last forever. I mean, like a year or something. But yeah, so I just buy those, and they work great. So let's take this outside. Let's put this back in here. This is only about half full, but I think I'll just dump it now. It's been a week or so. So I've had some people ask me, how are the compost bins holding up that I built years and years ago? Well, here they are. Guess what happened? I caught a bear out here late at night. Well, not late. It was just about dark. It was about 7 o'clock. In this, and he pulled all these off. This was about a month ago. Pulled all these down. To get in here, this compost was just about finished, and then he moved over here and was getting into this one here, and so I chased him off, And so I figured what I would do is just fix these before I used it again. So I'm going to fix these up and then get all that hay that's growing out of there and redo it. So, but I am putting compost in here right now and starting it over again. My other composter is full now, and so I'm going to go back to using this one. And yeah, stupid bear, I can't keep them out of here. But it is way off because, you know, you want to keep your composter, you know, a couple hundred feet from your house, because I mean, this is about 100 feet from the north garden and about 100 feet from the house. So, or, well, after that, about 200 feet from the house, because, you know, anything bear, you know, bear, or, you know, even rats and who knows what could get into this. But I haven't seen any rats. I have, you know, I kind of keep those knocked down. But yeah, if anybody's wondering about the compost bins, they're still working great. I just need to put all those slats back in and start reusing it again. But yeah, it's still working great. So this is the composter. And I call it a composter, but believe it or not, it's actually just a kitchen, like a kitchen waste basket, but it's automated. And so it's got a solid bottom, and then this sits inside of it. And then I get these biodegradable bags. And then actually this just, like this, I'll bring you in closer here so you can see it. And these are great. These are, I looked around forever to find the exact size that I wanted, and the exact size, well, the exact size basket and the exact size bags that work perfectly together, and this is it. So let me show you. Let's bring you in closer. So this is really nice. It's got a solid bottom, and of course so does that. And then I just put this in here like this, and it goes right over top of the handle. And then when I set it in there, of course, I just push it down around like this. Piece of cake, there's plenty of room, like that. And just like that. And this holds an unbelievable amount of compost, or kitchen scraps, I should say. And then now this here, this is the power on and off. Hope I've got it in frame. And then this is the open and close. You can do it manually, or you can just wave your hand over it. So you hold this in and it'll power it off. It'll turn red, it'll power off. And then, you know, it doesn't have to be, oh, I waved my hand in front of it. But, or you just hold it on for 2 seconds and it'll turn on, it'll turn green. So there's two ways to open it. Of course, you can wave your hand in front of it, or you can hit the button. So let's turn it back on. Whoops. I got to hold it for 2 seconds. And then, so you can push it like that, or just wave your hand in front of it and it'll open up. Now when it's open up like this, I think it's like 7 or 10 seconds it stays open. Yeah, maybe 7. And then if you do it manually, it stays open for like, gosh, I don't know, like a minute or so, a long time. So you just push it again. That way if you're actually, like I was cutting up, I was doing corn and I had the husks and everything and I was throwing it in. So I was doing it for quite a long time, and so I wanted it to stay open. So yeah, 2 ways to do it. Now this fits, it just sits on there, friction fit, but I don't smell anything when it's in the kitchen. No fruit flies get into it. I've never had any problem. No flies, fruit flies, nothing. And so it works perfectly for me in my kitchen, and I don't smell it. And yeah, it works great. Yeah, one thing you need to make sure is that you keep this sensor clean, because it needs to be able to read your hand, or it needs to be able to sense motion. So if you keep it clean, it'll sense it. Yeah, it works great. Now, when I went out to look for kitchen composters, I actually didn't realize that I was not looking for a kitchen composter, because those composters do something strange. I don't know what they do. They crunch it up for you, and they, you know, break it down, and I'm not sure exactly what they do, but I wasn't looking for one of those. They're like $400. All I needed was something that was going to hold my kitchen scraps and then take it out to the compost and let the composter do all the work, my compost pile, my bin. So I didn't need that. I just needed a holding place for all of my kitchen scraps. This works perfect for that. This is actually considered a waste basket. I think it's a bathroom waste basket or a kitchen waste basket. Anyways, it's a waste bin. And so this was like $50 compared to like $300 or $400. And then the bags, there's 160 bags that you get that it doesn't come with it. You got to buy the bag separate. But it's like 17 or 18 bucks for the bags. 160 of them. If I use 2 a week, that's 104 bags a year. I get 160. That leaves me, I don't know, it's like a year and a half or something like that of bags just for 16 or 17 bucks. So 50 plus 16 or what, it's like 65, $67 for both of these, and that's all I need. This works perfectly fine for me. It's worked flawlessly, and I'm thoroughly happy with it. So I'll put links in the description below where you can go out and take a look at these. So thanks a lot, guys, and don't forget to subscribe and make sure you hit that bell so you get notifications when I upload a new video. We'll catch you guys later.